Max sucked the stale air into his lungs, trying to breathe quietly. The sticky darkness enveloped him from all sides, the flashlight in his hand illuminating only a narrow section of the corridor. The floor beneath his feet was covered with a thick layer of dust, but in places it was broken by long, deep furrows, as if someone or something had been dragging a heavy load. Suddenly there was a creaking sound somewhere ahead. The sound was soft, but it echoed in my ears. Max froze, listening. A new creak closer. Then another. And another. It was a rhythmic, measured sound, like shuffling on metal. My heart pounded in my chest, my throat constricted. A thought flashed through his mind. He wasn't alone. A sharp rumble broke the silence. Max flinched, the flashlight slipping out of his hands and rolling across the floor, revealing the wreckage of children's toys and rusty pipes. But they weren't the only ones. At the last moment before the light went out completely, he saw someone standing at the end of the hallway. A tall, unnaturally elongated figure, frozen in the shadows. And then the darkness closed in, and the footsteps grew closer. Ordinary world. The hum of the city streets fills the small apartment where Max sits at his laptop, going through old footage for a new video. His channel is gaining popularity, but he needs something truly sensational to take it to the next level. On the wall hangs a board with maps, notes, and printed photos of abandoned places. Among them, an old newspaper clipping stands out: Playtime Company factory closed. Reasons remain unknown. Max scrutinizes the text, running through possible scenarios in his head. There is almost no information about the reasons for the closure on the web, only scattered rumors and speculation. This place could be his next big investigation. He takes a sip of his cooled coffee, scrolls through a video file showing the charred entrance to the factory. His heart starts beating faster. This could be the material that will bring him true fame. A gut feeling tells me that there's more than just empty corridors and old machinery lurking there. Max decides to go there at night. Now there's no turning back. The deeper Max delves into the history of the factory, the more strange things he finds. It was closed suddenly, and there are no official reasons. In rare archival documents there are mentions of missing workers, accidents, and some secret experiments. All records are abruptly cut off, as if someone tried to erase them. Stumbling across old newspaper articles and forgotten internet forums, he discovers that there have always been creepy rumors surrounding Playtime Company. It was said that toys were coming off the assembly line. Wrong. And that on the night shift workers could hear children laughing in the shops, even though there were no children there. This mystery seems like the perfect story for Max. If he shoots footage in an abandoned factory, his channel will explode. He decides to go there at night. But not everyone thinks it's a good idea. His friends and followers discourage him. The factory is dangerous, and people were seen there at night, probably guards or looters. In the comments they warn that it is better to stay away. Max hesitates. But the desire to uncover the truth and make the loudest report of his life outweighs his fears. If he can reveal what has been hidden for decades, it will become his major investigation. Shoulders tense with adrenaline. Camera charged, flashlight checked, battery spare. Tonight, he's going into Playtime Company. Max creeps along the factory fence, trying to stay in the shadows. The usual entrance is locked, and the windows are boarded up. But he'd studied the layout of the building beforehand and found a loophole in old drainage system leading inside. As he struggles to squeeze through the concrete pipe, he feels the stench of standing water and rust clogging his nostrils. The flashlight reveals cobwebs and peeling walls in the darkness. When he finally makes it out into the technical corridor, his boot slips on something soft. He bends down and sees a tattered plush toy. Its fabric is torn, its synthesizer is sticking out, and its plastic eyes stare into the void. Max slowly raises his camera and takes a picture of the find. Scattered papers lie along the wall. He picks one up and notices the crooked, uneven lines written in a trembling hand. If anyone finds these, We made a mistake. They're not just toys now. Further on, the text is blurred, as if the author was writing in a hurry and then something interrupted him. Max swallows, fingers clenching the camera. He walks on, but the feeling that someone is watching him grows stronger. Max is wandering around the factory when he notices movement in the distance. He points the camera and stops. A figure flickers like a shadow among the rusty machines. Cautiously moving forward, he sees a man, a homeless man with sunken eyes and a gray beard. The man is sitting among a pile of broken toys, muttering something to himself. "This is no place for the living," he says suddenly, without looking at Max. Max tries to question him, but the homeless man just shakes his head. The guy turns on the camera and records their conversation. The old man repeats the same thing: "No one should be here." Searching for answers, Max finds the director's old office. The desk drawers contain audio recordings of factory executives discussing attempts to cover up a mass tragedy. The documents hint that the accidents at work were not accidental. Max returns to the homeless man, and he reveals the truth: he is a former engineer. He saw how an accident destroyed the shop, claiming the lives of the workers. The factory was shut down, but the real cause was hidden. The toys he's guarding belong to the dead children of the workers. There's a noise. They are locked inside. The lights are flickering. The toys are moving. Max realizes the factory is hiding something more. Max realizes that the factory is alive, its walls and mechanisms trying not to let him go. He rushes to the exit, but the doors are blocked. The plaster is falling from the ceiling, the vents are rattling, and the shadows in the corners seem to move. The homeless man abruptly grabs his arm and leads him through a narrow tunnel between cars. "Run!" he shouts, pointing to an old emergency exit. "I can't leave them," he whispers. "They're still here." Before the door slams shut, Max sees the figure of the homeless man disappear into the depths of the factory one last time. And then there is silence. Max leaps outside, breathing heavily, his hands shaking. Behind him, the factory seems dead, but he thinks he can hear the echo of the homeless man's voice coming from inside. "Now you know, but can you tell me?" The whisper pierces his consciousness, even though no one is around. He grabs the camera, starts recording. But the screen is filled with ripples. The files are corrupted. The video cuts off at the moment he first walks inside. The voice on the tape is distorted, as if someone had overlaid his own voice. Max feels a cold dread sweep over him. Was it all for nothing? Or is the factory just not letting her secrets out? The silence of the night feels pressurizing. Max looks around one last time. The light in one of the windows on the top floor flashes on and off. It's as if someone is watching him from inside. The next day, Max posts a video. He talks about everything he saw, about the homeless man and the creepy findings. But the viewers don't believe him. The comments are full of skepticism. Another production. Good editing, but fake. Where is the evidence? Even those who have always supported him now doubt him. Max rereads the messages, feeling a growing doubt. What if they were right? What if he really imagined all this? His memory is jumbled. The factory seems to fade from his mind, leaving only a shadow of fear. Late at night, the phone vibrates. A message from an unknown number. "You haven't seen enough." Max freezes. A chill runs down his back. He looks at the screen, then at the camera still on the table. The factory isn't done with him.